I'm absolutely loving the fact that I get 2 responses, when I see people. It's either like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" by being so public, because we see, like, all of the moments, right? Like, this is just what real life actually looks like, is me talking about this or ups and downs. But I also get the other response is like, "Oh, I am totally normal," right? Like, there is something normal about me, and I'm always this is the thing that's really sort of challenging. I'm trying to meet people where they actually are. So imagining yourself as if I imagine, okay, what would somebody look like that is kind of a normal, either as PhD student, professor, even sort of just normal people doing normal stuff, at 2 in the morning, Googling something and saying, oh, why is this happening to me? And then I'm hopefully trying to like walk people, through these things that are just really fundamentally just life and life things, interpreting what is going on in their surroundings. And often um I know because I'm a behavioral scientist, or a social scientist, I guess you could say, is I know that often the negative hits more, and that's what people are often searching for and looking for. And so the idea is, how do I connect with these people that are at these moments and let them know that, you know, like if you were to sort of create a dial, right? Where you're feeling your mood is from super negative, like I can't take this, to super positive. I am always extraordinarily, laughing, like laughing super, super hard. It's like the craziest emotional response in your brain. You get all these endorphins flying around and it's just like complete high. Most people are sort of right smack dab in the middle to, often on the negative side, the sort of crazy, crazy highs don't happen that much. Um, but, that means, the way that culture depicts sort of our lives is that it's always, super glorious. But, if you've read any literature at all, or if just literature is great because it sort of tells the humanity. um, most of our experiences are kind of like in the middle to, slightly negative, sometimes really negative if you're drained. And we kind of fluctuate around those things. And so my goal is to, okay, I'm thinking like, how am I going to connect with these people that are, kind of on that middle ground, right? Because very few people are actually talking you through these moments. And most of the stuff is just not real, right? Like, almost all of it is just not real life, right? Like, you just pick anything, and there's a story arc, a narrative that is highly filtered. Whether it's a podcast or a YouTube channel, YouTube's really bad. It's highly, highly filtered, it's not real life, and people don't understand that, real life is just kind of most days it's kinda like, blah land. Nothing is really happening. I call it blah land. Like, it's just kind of like right in the middle, right in the pocket. In the morning, you kinda wake up a little bit chippy. By the evening, you're kinda grumpy, and then you go home, you replenish yourself so at least for me, I have, a nice meal with my family, spend a little time with them, and decompress with a tiny little bit of TV, and then that's my day, right? Like, that's the story arc of my day. That is very normal, in my life. I've been doing that for years and years and years now, and I think it's probably really spectacularly normal for everybody else. But we don't talk about this, right? Like, we are not open about this sort of story arc. If we go to the sort of Norman Rockwell type pictures of what like normal life looks like, that was the 1920s, 1930s, sort of beautiful pictures, but they were very picturesque, right? It doesn't tell you the story of like, oh, this is normal stuff, right? And I'm gonna drop a couple of truth bombs every once in a while as I talk about this, as I sort of explain myself, like, how do you become ultra wealthy? And it's not what people say. Um, that's just not what happens. You don't sort of win some sort of crazy lottery. It's one little tiny step at a time. And if I can encourage you to get back up and say, hey, I got this. I'm gonna take one more day. I'm gonna take one little tiny step. And I'm gonna be a little bit creative in how I view the world. And if I do this repeatedly, kind of not get locked into what people think of me and just do these things one little step at a time, view my life as a series of little tiny decisions that I can dial up and dial down. I've got a choice of, the total amount of revenue that I have coming in. I could split this in different ways and different ratios, and I can choose what those ratios are to sort of pick, more of rewarding today versus rewarding tomorrow. It's sort of things like this that we know are true. And if you do those kind of right, in the sense of you do those repeatedly for a long time, and you kind of don't get thrown off, right? You kind of don't go down roads where it's like really terrible, right? Like if you've got a spouse, things are not working out, go friggin' talk to somebody, right? Like, or talk to them. But sometimes it's difficult. So you get a helper, right? Like you get a mentor, and you get a mental health professional to come and talk to you, right? Like whether it's a psychiatrist or counselor or whatever. Um, you kind of do these slight adjustments all of the time, picking and sensing how you're feeling, and you do that repeatedly, knowing that it's normal to kind of feel right in that sort of blah land moments every day. Um, and then have the odd celebration every here and there. You're living a good life, right? Like that's what it means to live a good life, that you are both making progress in the sense of sort of traditional sense of progress. Um, you're doing a little bit better than this year. You're doing a little bit better than last year, but also, B, you're kind of enjoying it, right? Like you're finding those middle grounds and enjoying it, so that um that sort of day to day moments where it's you're in blah land and kind of, some days it's not so good. You're having a good time. Right, and I think if you do this over the course of many, many years, amazing things happen in your life, like unbelievable things that you can't explain, that you will look at it and you'll be just flabbergasted with the ability of doing the things that you could do. So, hopefully, this explains a little bit about what I'm doing, the way that I'm doing it, and you get a sense of, um, I'm not either, all dumpy. I'm living life, and I'm also not like delusional and sort of deluding myself, knowing that this is making that much of a difference in any given day. All right, take care. It's making a big difference for me. It feels damn good as I do this, but take care and have a wonderful day.